Preserve your family history with a video biography. Ask your parents and grandparents to tell the story of their lives. A personal history is a priceless gift for family, friends, and generations to come. Contact Barbara Wilson at 457-3188.
I was born March the 4th, 1932, and my name is Hortence Harris Smith. I used to be a marshal, of course, before marriage.
Wow, 1932. So how old does that make you?
Oh, just here last month, which was March the 4th, I became 90 years old.
90? I would never know that by looking. Wow. I think you better keep that secret to yourself. So, where were you born?
Oh, I was born in East Street. The family property is still there, but in the hands of someone else, of course. I was born East Street South.
Okay, and that is in Nassau, in New Providence?
In New Providence.
Question, the property that you grew up on, can you explain exactly where it is now?
It's right there. The property, my father had a restaurant on the property in East Street, below where Paula Roberts lived, as I said earlier.
Okay.
And the little restaurant is still there in the yard, and the property is still there. But the property was sold, but the building is still there.
Okay. You gotta look for that. I'm not sure I know where Paula Roberts is, but
yeah, that's wrong. Okay, if you come down East Street, you pass Ross Corner, you pass Red Lion by corner, there's a church on the corner. Right opposite the church, I don't know that mile up, Mr. Roberts used to be, and that's Strong Corner. And when you reach the Strong Corner, there used to be a pharmacy on the corner. I think the building is still there. And right opposite that building is where the marshals lived.
okay. All right.
And there you will see a little shop right there still. I think the person still has a restaurant there. And that is where the marshals' estate was.
Okay, wow. And who were your parents, please?
Yeah, my father and mother. My father's name was Vincent, and Mama's name was Vera. So Vincent and Vera Marshall of East Street South.
So how many siblings did you have?
Oh, my mama and daddy, they had 5.
5? And that included you?
That included me. I'm the baby, of course.
Okay, so what were their names?
The names of my brothers and sisters?
Yes.
Okay, the eldest brother was Hugh. He lived most of his time in America after going to school. But he visited us occasionally.
Okay.
Then my second one was Enid. She was a nurse here in the Bahamas General Hospital. And Hazel, she was a school teacher here before she left to go to America. And then my brother Herbert, he's now 92 years old, and they call him Skilly. Perhaps he's better known as Skilly.
Okay.
And followed him is me,
Okay.
Hortense. Yes, we were associated with a family from Cat Island, the King family, Richard King and family. He had quite a bit of children, and one was called Octavia King. We went to school together from Southern Senior School, and she familiarized me with many of the bush medicine.
Okay.
We had fun doing that. And those days we used to walk through the Rocky Road corner, and through that corner then was a lot of bushes.
Right.
And on our way home back and forth, we would stop and get a little berries of the trees, which was very interesting.
Wow.
And after leaving Southern Senior School, we joined it on to St. John's College, Octavia and I, and we had that friendship going through all our lives right up to now.
Those were the days when friends were real friends, eh?
Yes, real friends. Yes.
So you went to Southern Senior and then St. John's.
St. John's College.
Okay.
And then, of course, we grew up in St. Agnes Church. That was another thing. We went back and forth to church together. Mass in the mornings, service in 10:30, service in the evening. They were the days.
How did you get to school in those days?
Oh, you had to walk.
Was it a long walk?
Long walk. Long walk. Well, and East Street in the vicinity of Buller Roberts. In those days, I think most people now will remember Buller Roberts. He had a barn, and he lived in about the middle of East Street, coming down from top of the hill by the Candy Kitchen, and we lived very near him. And that's how it was then.
Okay. So once you completed school, you graduated from St. John's?
Yes.
What did you do after that?
Well, when I graduated from there, I worked many years to Bahamas General Hospital.
Okay.
And I was the superintendent's secretary for a while. And after marriage, having 2 children, I didn't return to that job. I went into teaching. I taught for many years, and after that, I worked at the telco, where I retired from there.
Okay. So back in those days, after you finished high school, what were the opportunities like? Was there any major prejudice in your era?
Oh yes, they had a lot of prejudice. Of course, you have to go there and improve yourself in the secretarial field. You know, you have to improve yourself in order to get other jobs.
Right.
And of course, they always had that problem with black and white. And there came a time when there used to only be whites in the banks.
Okay.
And that changed after a period of time. And even in Batalco, there was a time there were only whites operators.
Wow.
And after a period of time, that
changed, right?
And it got better and better until now.
Yes, the majority rule made a big difference, didn't it?
Made a big difference.
Okay, so then you got married. Who did you marry?
Oh, I married a young man by the name of Samuel Augustus Harris Smith.
Samuel Augustus Harris Smith.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's him.
Okay, and what did he do for a living?
He was a Trinidadian. He came here to work on the police force.
Okay.
As a policeman. And there he was. And after that, marriage came, and after that, he taught for a while. He came out of the force, and he taught for many years. And then after that, he further pursued himself and went away and did law. He accomplished that, thank God. And he came back home and practiced.
So what year did you marry?
1952.
1952. And how many children did the marriage yield?
Oh, I had 4.
4 children. What were their names?
The eldest one was a boy. His name was Terence. The other one, the second one was Augustus, named after his father. And thereafter was Calliope, the first girl, and Vanessa, the baby.
Excellent. And your children have all grown up now and done well for themselves. I know that for a fact.
Yes, they have.
Yes.
They have. Octavia had a cousin named Ruth. Ruth Oughton now. She was with the group.
Okay.
It was Octavia and I, yeah. And many others.
Okay.
The Archers lived on East Street. We all grew up together. And we were at St. Agnes Church. We used to go to church back and forth. And the Fergusons, Inez Ferguson and those, we were all schoolmates. Quite a bit of them. No, it's a big change. It's a big change, you know. A very big change. You find that some people are not as friendly as they have been in those days. And yet there are some who are very friendly.
Yeah.
But I think life is what you make it. Life is really what you make it.
Right. How was it? Was it easy to raise children around the time you had your children? They must have been born in the 60s, maybe.
In the 60s.
Yeah.
In the 60s. Very similar to the upbringing of
Right.
today. A lot depends on parenthood.
Right.
And you can't get away from it. Let's say you put a child in the village. Well, that's the same thing.
Right.
Father Milton Cooper.
Okay.
That was my priest in my reign.
Right.
He married me and everything. And eventually he passed on, of course.
Right.
And prior to him was Father Python. And, you know, the priests changed from time to time. But in my reign, Father Python and Milton Cooper. Yeah.
Is there any advice that you would give the young people nowadays coming up? When you think of your growing up and becoming an adult, what advice would you give to young people now?
Well, to be truthful, rearing in a church environment is very good. So keep in touch with your church. Be honest as you can. And keep out of trouble. Company is good to have. It's good to have company. But you must be careful who is your company.
Yes.
And if you have a company and you find out that things are looking right or how you would like it to be, it would be good if you can stay away from that group of people.
Right.
And join another group if you have to, because it's good to be friendly, but know how far to go.
Right. Do you have grandchildren?
Oh, yes, I have many.
Many. And what about great-grand? Any great-grand yet?
Great-grand, yes.
Wow.
I have about 8 or 9 great-grands.
Yeah. That's excellent. Okay, so and the heritage and the lineage goes on.
Yes, yes.
To God be the glory.
God be the glory.
Yes, well, you look very well for your age. Would you give us some secrets? What would you say is the secret to looking so well at 90? Is there a secret?
There is a secret.
Okay.
And one of the secrets is involvement with your church, believing in God,
Right.
exercising, proper food. And right up to now, I do my little exercise with the 3 a.m. program of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, which is a blessing to the nation. And they come on every morning from 7 to 7:30. And I keep up with those as much as I can.
Yes.
So proper food, exercising,
And a good
and
religion.
faith.
Yes, faith.
Very important.
And a lot of people don't do that. So if you listen and learn and do, it could make a huge difference.
Makes a
The
difference.
advice does make a difference.
Yes.
Yes.
And I try to live with the quote in the Bible, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ,
Yes.
who strengthens me.
Amen.
And I think that's a good thing to live with. You do what you can do. You put God first. And don't become lax with your body. You do whatever you can do, as best as you can, knowing that